And we're live. Hey, good morning or afternoon already, isn't it, Eric? We're here with Erich Spitzer, and we are going to find out all about how he got started and where he's from. Coming up next. And we're back. So, hey, Eric, how's it going today?
Not too bad, Ray. Yourself?
You know, it's just another day in real estate paradise, to tell you the truth.
The same over here, just not real estate, in the construction industry.
Good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. You know, I got to thinking that me and Sue is in our 30th year together, as her being my bride and me being her slave. So that means I've known you for 30 years.
That's right, you have. That's crazy.
That's
How time
crazy.
flies.
You still in high school?
I was. I was. 17 years old.
Yep. Sure enough. So, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about where you grew up and how you ended up where you are today?
All right. Well, I grew up in Stockton, born and raised in Stockton. Our connection is Chris Moken, who's your stepson, and I were good friends in
Still
high
is.
school. Yeah, he is. Excuse me. My apologies. We went to high school together, hung out a lot, partied a lot together and everything back in the day. Um, and I don't know, I'm just a normal person. I just, got my first job at the age of 15 at Carl's Jr. on the Hammer Lane, actually not Hammer, Pacific Avenue in the Hammerhead Center. And I just kind of progressed from there. How I became who I am today is back in 2002, I was looking for a job. And I got the newspaper out. I was circling, all the jobs and making a map, making a route, doing everything I had to do to get a good job. I came upon Lane Air Manufacturing, was looking for a delivery driver. Lane Air Manufacturing is a manufacturer of roof hatches, skylights, rooftop accessories in general. I found a good niche inside there. They brought me on. I started out as a delivery driver. I went on to being, inside sales, to outside sales, to taking over the Northern California office until that's about 16 and a half years. After that, I left the company. I went on to a little mom and pop shop. I spent 2 years there, quickly realized that they needed me. I did not need them. And that's when I branched out and started my own company, which is called HL&S Supply. That stands for hatches, ladders, and skylights. If you're in the industry, it's roof hatches, access ladders, and skylights. Plus more.
Plus more.
I got stuff too.
And you started HL&S Supplies back when?
Almost 2 years ago. July will be 2 years.
July will be 2
July
years.
2020.
Great.
Yeah. I have a really great following of customers, and I really appreciate them 100%. Without them, I wouldn't be here today, in this position at least.
That's what we all need to remember, is bring them near and dear to our heart, because that is really all we're here for, is to serve them.
Exactly. They are everything to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's funny is, I'm a firm believer. As you get older, you realize that all the things that you did up to this point in time today all shaped you to who you were. All the experiences, everything that took place. And one thing my customers, I hopefully understand, is there was things in other companies I was at that I learned from. I did not want to be that way. I wanted to give them, right answers about when their product's going to arrive and all that type of stuff. And that's what I strive to do today, is not lie to anybody. I'm upfront about everything. If you need a skylight tomorrow and it takes 2 weeks to get there, well, I'm sorry, 2 weeks to get there. Plan accordingly.
Yeah.
So
don't cut the hole in the roof yet.
Exactly, or at least if you do, cover it up. I hope people can really respect that. About.
Yeah. It's always the best. I know that when I'm in a transaction, and I've had a couple recently that I wasn't informed by the other side what was happening, and it leads to so much stress and so many problems. I can manage any problem as long as I'm given notice about that problem. Then you can make the adjustments that are required. You said something a little earlier that everything that we have done is what brought us here today. And that kind of reminded me of one of my favorite sayings that I say all the time. And that is, God put people together for 3 reasons and only 3 reasons. And those 3 reasons are to learn something, to teach something, or to learn something while we teach something.
There you go. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That rings true.
Yeah, it is so true, because we're put in positions in our life to learn so that we can step forward. And until we learn that lesson, we'll never step forward. We'll always be right where we're at. So, had you not learned anything from the time you were working at Carl's Jr. to today, you would have known HL&S supplies. You'd still be flipping burgers at Carl Jr.
That's correct. I would be. Luckily, that wasn't my ambition in life. So
exactly.
I did have opportunity to become managers and stuff during that time frame. It just wasn't for me at that time.
Yeah. There you go. Well, that's wonderful. So, married.
Mm-hmm.
Been with Tracy, you said 26 years?
Yeah, through dating and marriage, 26 years. Our 20-year anniversary is actually coming up here in July 13th.
Right.
And speaking of which, happy birthday to Tracy today.
Oh, today's Tracy's birthday? Well, happy birthday, Tracy.
A ripe 21.
A ripe 21. I'm not going to touch that one. Not going to touch that one.
No, she's everything to me, obviously. Her and my family.
Right on. Yep.
Yeah.
And 2 kids.
2 kids, 13 and 16. I'm ready to go bald here shortly. they're just knocking my hair out of me left and right.
I can appreciate that.
And it comes along with the teenager.
The forehead just keeps getting bigger.
It does. No, I love them to death, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Well, great. I really appreciate you coming on today.
Oh, yeah, of course. I appreciate you having me, of course. Speaking of which, happy anniversary to you. I see it's been 1 year since you got your licensed associate broker at EXP Realty of California.
Yeah, it has been 1 year that I'm back to EXP.
Okay.
Realty of California. I got my broker's license here in California right before I came back. I started in real estate 6 years ago, started with Keller Williams, was introduced to EXP, was with them for a couple years, made a change, circumstances that I thought were not doable, not fixable. Made a change to a local brokerage here. Actually, a statewide brokerage and a local brokerage bought in Groupie Real Estate, bought into Remax Gold franchise, and they started telling me what I had to do.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm not very good at getting poked in the chest and told what I have to do.
Yeah.
And I asked lots and lots of questions and gave them an opportunity to allow me the dignity or give me the respect that there was something in it for me.
Yeah.
Besides everything for them. And they couldn't come up with anything. And so I left, was going to have to spend a bunch of money for signs anyway. And I left until I got my broker's license, hung my realtor's license with a really good friend of mine in Manteca, Mimi Harper with Harper Valley real estate, and hung it there for just a few months until I got my broker's license, and then got my broker's license right before my birthday, right as my birthday was coming. I got the notice after my birthday that I'd got it before my birthday, and I received a notice in the mail that my stocks, who had been restricted, now had a value, and they put the number on that, and that number went from a five. I probably put somewhere between $8,000 and $10,000. So 4 or 5 figure number to a pretty good looking 6-figure number.
Very nice.
And I looked up and said, Lord, I guess you're telling me that I shouldn't open my own brokerage. I should become an associate broker back at EXP. And that's when I made the move back to EXP, and it's been a wonderful experience.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, that's actually a great story. I don't like being told what to do either. We blaze our own trails.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have no problem helping somebody in their trail as long as they can tell me how I benefit. And it doesn't have to be anything really. Just tell me what C.Ray gets.
Exactly. So my whole philosophy is we all put our pants on one leg at a time. There's nobody different from anybody else. We just hold different titles.
Yep.
Yep. So obviously, I've always known you as Ray.
Yeah.
But you obviously go by C.Ray now.
I do.
So can you give a quick little story about that?
Quick little story about that. My first name's Carrie. I was Carrie all the way from the time I was born until we moved to Tracy when I entered the summer before 7th grade. I got teased a lot because I had a girl's name. I'd never met another Carrie, didn't even know another Carrie other than the old actor Cary Grant. And so I changed my name in 7th grade after I got put into girls' PE and home economics. And the secretary, after I got to home economics and was told I belonged next door at Bachelor Living, because back in 68, home economics was basically glorified sex education. And so I get to the office and the secretary's going, oh, I'm so sorry. It's my fault. You're graduating with a daughter. I didn't even look. She types up me a whole new schedule, gives it to me, and tells me I got to go back to home economics and girls PE that I didn't go to and sign out, and then go back to my new classes and sign into all my new classes. Okay. I slid the thing back across to her, and I said, no, ma'am, you just said it was your fault. I'll go to the new classes, but you need to go back to home economics. That lady was old and mean. And so fast forward, she says back and forth, you seem like a fine young man. And there are things in life that happen to you that are not your fault, but you have to take responsibility for. And this is one of those things. So I ended up going and doing it. But at the same time, I made her retype my thing to say C.Ray Brower. And I went home and told my parents I was no longer Carrie. I was going to be Ray. Well, my dad is V. Ray Brower. He always signed his name Ray. So I started signing my name C.Ray. I became Raymond at home. And I just introduced myself as Ray all the way through until many years later when I had a transmission shop and one of my good golfing buddies came in. And everybody that I golfed with had started calling me C.Ray because me and Dad golfed together a lot. And so he was Ray and I was C.Ray instead of Little Ray or Baby Ray.
There you go.
And Robbie walks into the shop and says, hey, can I see Ray to get my kid's car fixed? Because he broke it. And I said, Robbie, you can see Ray to get your kid's car fixed. And I'm stealing that. So from that point on, I've been C.Ray. I introduced myself as C.Ray. And that's where it is. And of course, you were Spit.
I was always Spit. I still am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will always.
I didn't put it over your head.
That's right. Just take out the Z-E-R. There I am. But yeah, no, obviously with my last name, that's a very common nickname of mine. My brother had it. I have it. My son will probably have it as well. We'll see.
Yeah. Most likely.
Yeah. That's how 99% of the people know me outside of business.
Right. Right.
Otherwise I'm just Eric to everybody else.
Yeah, business and everybody else, you become Eric. Yep. And I become Ray most of the time, although sometimes, depending on where the contract is coming through, I'll be in a transaction and I'll be Carrie.
Okay.
And then I have some of my clients that I tell that story to, and they say, "Well, I like Carrie. Can I call you Carrie?" I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you're older now, so I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter anymore. You're not like a little kid
It doesn't
anymore.
matter.
Yeah. No. Well, that's awesome. That's a good little story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hear Sue loves it so much when you introduce yourself as C.Ray.
What's that?
I understand that Sue loves it so much when you introduce yourself as C.Ray.
She really has a real problem with it, actually. Why do you do that? Why do you do that? Because it leads right into you can see Ray to find your perfect home.
There you go. That's awesome. That's awesome little catchy line.
Yeah, yeah. It does work. It does work. So
Beautiful. Well, it was really awesome to see you again. It's been what, a year or two? I don't know how long Chris has been married for, Chris and Rena, but
they've been married for a bit. Let's see. This is 3 years, I think, coming
3
up.
years.
And I think it's going to be 3 years this year, if I remember right. I
Man.
shouldn't be saying this on live and not know, huh?
It's all good. It's been a few years.
It's been a little bit.
By the way, you look really good in that suit there, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were in the wedding together. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yes, we were. Wearing the pajamas.
That's right. That kurta, right? That was fun.
Yes, it was. 3 day, 4 day. How long was that wedding? It didn't seem like it was never going to end.
Yeah, no doubt. I think I started on a Thursday and ended on like on a next Thursday.
By the time the hangover was over.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, Eric, I really do appreciate your time today. Everybody, scrolling down below is all the contact information for you to find your hatches, ladders, and skylights. Get hold of Erich Spitzer. He would be glad to help you. And everybody, go out and be the sunshine in somebody's rainy day. And we will see you all again real soon.
All right. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate it.
You bet.